See, when a mommy zombie and a daddy zombie love each other very much, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. It's Sunday night, and of course, we're jumping in with some Phobies, so let's get to it. Hope everybody out there in Chatland is doing well. Hope everybody's had a good weekend or a good start to the week if you're already into Monday. I managed to actually get to gold as far as pulling hairs out with the comb. Little ouch down. I managed to get to gold for my weekly reward, which is, it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't really care. The end of season reward is more pertinent to me, but you know, it's a little something extra. I didn't update the starting MMR. I'll do that now. Hey, Chiller, what's good? Guncito, DT, what's good? Welcome. I never tried this game yet. It's fun, Chiller. I do really like it. I mean, I am part of the content affiliate program, hence the hashtag sponsored. Have to get that out there, make sure that we say it. Make sure people are aware. They do give me stuff for this, but... and by stuff, I mean in-game currency specifically. They are sending me, for running Fright Night, they are sending me a hoodie, which is pretty cool. Although right now it's still sweltering. It's 87 degrees as I sit here. It's very warm. It's very warm. Not a fan. But we're going to be trying to play a little Phobies tonight. We have some more reviews to go through. We'll see if we come up with any other insane discussions like discussing eating bugs or the terrors that live beneath the waves and or aliens. Because that keeps happening. Chat keeps me on my toes. Fright Night was pretty awesome. Well, thank you. You like the YouTube content? I'm glad. I want to do more Fright Nights. I'm waiting on... So, I did put the survey out there, and we've gotten a whopping 1 response so far. Like, literally 1. I'm actually kind of disappointed at the response from people. Or lack thereof, for that matter. Oh, we got 3 responses. We got 3 responses. So there have been 2 more since I last checked earlier today. So I guess I'm trying to get more feedback because I do want to try out some other formats. I think it would be valuable, but I want to make sure that people at least are on board with it. I don't want to put it out there and be like, okay, we're going to do this other moment. And then, or this other moment, I'm looking at chat, it says Phobie moment. I'm not sure what you mean by that, dogewhal. But we're going to do this other format, and then it turns out, hey, everybody just hates this idea right off the bat. So they don't even want to play. That sort of thing. So yeah, we'll be jumping in. We'll see how tonight goes. Better see you streaming in that hoodie the day it arrives. I promise I will do like an unboxing picture at the very least. If they're just going to send me a hoodie, I don't know that I can do like a big unboxing video, even if it's still 90 degrees, then all the fans are going to be on and everybody's going to have to deal with all the static on the mic because I will, like, it'll be soaked and or I will pass out as a result because half the time I feel like I'm roasting and I'm going to fall asleep anyway because of like just heat stroke. I don't know what this game plays like. It plays like chess. It plays like chess. Ms. Moffat is pretty good. Ms. Moffat is real good. Yeah, dogewhal. It's going to change your world when you get Ms. Moffat. Ms. Moffat is one of the most important phobies on the stress column, we'll call it. But yeah, Spirit Chiller. So this game plays like chess. Basically, one player's blue, one player's orange. Blue goes for, I mean, you always show up as blue, but like one player's going first, one player's going second. Turn-based gameplay like chess. Each turn, depending on whether it's a large map or a small map, like Biff's room here is small, Xylo is a large map, you'll get a varying number of keys to both start the game with and then the overall pool. Keys are your resources. Once you spend them, they're gone forever. You win the game by either eliminating their heart by dealing damage to it, either by directly attacking or controlling these white X's on the board, they're called panic points, or by killing all their phobies and they have no keys left, because then they have no guys, and presumably you can just go kill their heart anyway. The idea is you need to properly manage your resources because you could bank them from turn to turn to get something bigger, thereby giving up tempo advantage. Think of it like a control deck in a card game. Or you could play lower to the ground, higher velocity with flooding the board with a lot of little keys. But there is a cap. You can't have more than 5 on a small map or 7 on a large map at any given point in time. So you can't just, crap out 101 keys and completely swarm your opponent. But it plays out a lot like chess. It's very strategic, no variance. I just really enjoy this game. There's tons of gameplay if you want to see it on my YouTube channel, but we'll obviously be reviewing some games and playing tonight. Quick aside, everybody, before we get into the actual content, I was accepted into the Phobies Content Affiliate Program, the content creator program, you might call it. Shout out to the Phobies team, and thank you for that. But the reason I'm telling you, everybody out there, dear viewer, dear listener, is to let everybody know that I do receive some compensation from the Phobies team as a result of being part of that program. Now, I loved Phobies before, and I still love Phobies now, and I expect I will still continue to love Phobies in the future. So look forward to more Phobies content coming from Random's Thoughts. So now, on with the show. I have Octonaughty, which is like, okay, why ever use it instead of Miss Moffat? There are reasons to use Octonaughty. Namely, if you don't have Moffat. Namely, if you want 2 yoinks. As well as the fact that I believe it baseline has, just better stats than Miss Moffat. And it's dimensional. So occasionally the dimensional will play in, say, on Xylo, compared to just merely a monstrous phobie. Octo is also ranged, too. But the range can matter. Like, the range is going to matter. Use both, obviously. On a map like Xylo, having multiple yoinks is an enormous advantage. It makes your opponent's life so much more complex because they have to try and combat not just Miss Moffat, but the aforementioned Octonaughty and or Smother Mother and or Attractor. It gets ridiculous. Octonaughty is basically Pischetti, aka I don't have foul, so I'll use this. I think Pischetti is still reasonable. Like, they aren't... Is one better than the other? Yes, I think that's true. I think Moffat is probably better than Octonaughty and foul better than Pischetti. However, they aren't strictly better. And it's not even in the sense of, oh, well, I don't own this other thing, so I'll use this thing because it's what I have. That's obviously going to be true. If you don't have one of the things, you got to use what you got. But the more important point is that and this is a card game term, when you're talking better versus strictly better, better is, yes, in most, but not all use cases, this thing, you would prefer to have it than that thing. Well, so did Guncito, so does Foul. Foul has, like, an enormous damage output. Like, Foul's base damage, I think, at level 1 is, like, 700. It's ridiculous. But, getting back to my point, if something is strictly better, that means that in all cases, it is better. Picture if Octonaughty costs 5... was statted the exact same as Miss Moffat, but did not have poison. That is pretty much strictly better. Like, I guess there would be some bizarre edge case where you wouldn't want the thing to be poisoned. The hypothetical, there's a phobie in the future that, it's a tickles for poison or something. I don't know. You get what I'm saying. But right now, that would be strictly worse. Or even if, a better example would be, what if Octonaughty and Miss Moffat were both monsters? They had pretty much the same stats, except one of them had 100 health less. The other one is better than that one. I guess, the oddball case would be dimensionals, where you didn't want to kill that thing. I think there's enough variation between Miss Moffat and Octonaughty that there are still use cases. And as DT is pointing out, having many displacement effects is not bad. You'd rather have more than less. There's so many things in this game already. There are. It eases you into it, though, Chiller. When you first start out, like, you don't get all these things, The ones we're talking about are stress unlocks, which is like your player account level. And as you can see up here, I'm level 56, and then I unlocked Foul when I hit level 50, and then next level I'll get Oopsie Baby. We already know what this is because we've seen it before. And then Yeti, and so on. They don't introduce a lot of these concepts unless you buy a bunch of packs and you unlock a card that way early on. They just don't exist. That's why certain mechanics gain or lose value over time as you get more experience with the game, not just from being more experienced, but also just generally more players at that level have access to more stuff is where I'm going with it. But there's a lot of layers. There's a lot of depth to this game. Reflects poison, yeah. Don't underestimate Fish Tank, dogewhal. Don't underestimate Fish Tank. I did for a long time, but honestly, as long as you can keep it reasonably leveled, it is a mountain of hit points, and it does push an enormous amount of damage. Hey, Taco, what's good? If you don't have a lot of mechanicals, yeah, Smiley can be an issue. But the key is use the ones you have. So, like, if you only have access to Jar, for example, make sure that Jar is connecting with Smiley at every opportunity. And then you're going to have to probably sacrifice something to the Smiley. Just make sure it's the thing you're willing to give up and not what they want to get rid of. Bowmangles and Jar are pretty good counters. Smiley. Jar, I would agree. Bowmangles is a little bit more difficult just because if the Smiley doesn't cooperate, you're not really going to run it down. Chip Smiley down. Yeah, exactly. Chip it down from distance. You have to get it in, like a lot of other phobies similar to Smiley, similar in the sense that they are, how do I want to put this? I don't want to just say they're threatening, but they exert areas of control. They influence your game plan, obviously both threatening. The idea is that you have to whittle them down so that way they don't just show up on your doorstep and it's like, well, I guess I'm dead, you know. Personally, I would continue to underestimate Fish Tank. Fish Tank is fine, but you have to accept what it is as a big dummy that punches stuff good. That's it. Once you get a high enough stress level and a high enough like account width, we'll say, that is quantity of phobies that are reasonably playable, things like Fish Tank will fall off in favor of, well, why don't I just get, maybe not Sparky, but like another large thing that's ranged, or another large thing that has Flying and Resurrect, or another large thing that boops stuff, or another large thing that does a ton of damage but also has disease. Like, eventually the big dummies fall off. But it will help early on. I mean, it's quote-unquote only a common. The complexity should be low. Especially if you're limited on options. I wouldn't turn my nose up at it. But I missed my game review? Nope. Didn't get to that yet, Taco. We only just started. I can imagine Alligator or Quagmire being able to deal with Smiley, like the disease will nullify their heal, but it keeps the turret safe from disease. Yes and no. I mean, it depends. It depends on the levels, basically, is what it's going to come down to. They don't seem like terrible counters. I've done that before. I can't really remember how well it worked out. Like, I can't definitively say, oh yeah, that won or lost me the game. I may have won or lost independent, and it was just like, that's a thing that happened. No. It's not a bad idea. It's worth a shot. I kind of combine those two thoughts, so hopefully everybody follows. I think it's worth testing. See how it does. Although I have Alligator and Fish Tank most of the time, 4 and 3 phobies are better choices. I would agree generally, Gunsita, but there are going to be scenarios where it matters. Like Alligator, I think, is actually really strong on lava-based maps. This is not what I meant to click. So, for example, we don't really have anything in the pool right now because Eternal Monday would be difficult to get them on. Maybe it's worth trying there. Like Xylo, it's fine, but say Scopoceum, Magnificent. There are a couple others. Generally larger maps where it's easier to get them out and strewn with lava. Those are the ones where I like to see them. Most Smileys I'd fight are at 420 disease, so Ally could technically still heal after their disease. It's irrelevant. Ever play Injustice 1 or 2? I played both. I know they had a TMNT crossover. They did. I didn't actually get that DLC. I prefer Mortal Kombat to Injustice. I don't mind Injustice. And I'm very curious what NetherRealm's gonna do, although given all of the, like, wackiness going on with Warner Brothers right now, who the hell knows? I have no idea. I don't know if the stuff that's happening with their movies is affecting the video game division or not. Only gotten squiggles and tickles from all the full disclosure update, basically the worst two. Tickles is pretty solid. You can't... I mean, personally, I think Boomer's far and away the worst one from the update, but any one drop is good. Like, it just is. Squiggles is... Alright, that one's not great, but... I wouldn't even mind Graylian, mostly I just wanted the Innocuous. Yeah, the Innocuous chain is really strong. All of them are really good. All of them are really good. But any one drop, you have to respect one drops. They're all too strong. Not too strong, I guess that's the wrong way to put it. They're all very good. They're all very, very good. What's fun is when you use squiggles on the floor as lava. What makes it different there? Are you seeing a lot of traps on that map, DT? Doing stream challenges today? My challenge if I can make it open time? They're always live. They're always live. I mean, it doesn't really make much sense when I'm playing like Rumbleverse or something. But they're always there. Alright, chat. Speaking of challenges, let's start off with the arena. We'll see... Oh, we get a game. We get a game right away. We will see if we have people that are just phoning it in for the games or not. If they are, we'll switch over to game reviews. I'm debating making Sunday just straight up game review day and then just do all game reviews on Sundays. Because it's not uncommon for season rollovers and weekly rollovers that people just don't really play. You know what I mean? Clopster is also at the top of my want list. Seems very fun with a 4-range burrow. The problem I had with Clopster is when I discovered that it doesn't, or it's incapable of one-shotting an on-level jar. I would take that aggressively, but I don't want to risk my opponent being weird, if that makes sense. Like, I think they're just phoning it in to complete the game. But I don't want to take the chance and, like, they pop out their own snowball and a murder wing, kill my snowball for freezies kind of thing. Okay, so they are actually playing. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this map either, as Clopster's damage is a problem. I mean, I agree, but it seems reasonable. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, if you had something with that enormous of a range, it's just super dangerous. I can imagine Vlad's Clopster hitting hard. I think that's a safe bet. That's probably a safe bet. When you're playing the ladder, Clopster's going to be fine. As a Clopster user, I can agree. What, that the damage is low, or what? It doesn't get us anything. It would be nice to have a higher level Bowmangles, but if wishes were fishes. Part of me wants to go Gravedigger. I am trying that in an async game offline. But here, I don't want to go Gravedigger into the Noxious and cluster all this stuff. There's no limit to bouncing on a car? Aw, server error. Are we talking about Rumbleverse? I feel like there is if you're in Super. I think after the third bounce, it's not possible to do another one. Or maybe it's just super hard. I've never seen it. Either doing it myself or someone else doing it. I had another... I think I had a top 3 and a top 2 offline. Global server error. Womp wah. This tends to happen. There still is some instability when we get close to the rollovers, or when the rollover actually happens. You watch someone bounce off the diving board. It's ridiculous. I haven't seen that yet. I still don't understand for Rumbleverse how, like, the recovery works. And what's funny is, like, the devs were tweeting about it. It's like, oh, you can't figure out how to get up? We'll try in the practice mode. And, like, first of all, the practice mode is terrible because you can't do the practice mode by yourself. So inevitably, there's 800 people in there, and I can't practice on any of the dummies because there's 90 other people engaged with any of the given dummies. Problem number one. Problem number two is it doesn't explain why sometimes I'll get up immediately when I am holding shield, and sometimes I won't. Or why some of the recovery on certain attacks seems to vary. Like that. Those are things that I can't explain, and it also seems inconsistent. It's not like, oh, well, my opponent hit me with Cyclone, so it takes me longer to recover. I'm just making this up. I don't know if that's actually true. But then the next time, I'll hit someone with Cyclone, or they'll hit me, and I'll recover faster. And the way I can tell that I recover faster is that they went for a follow-up attack that they did multiple times in a row, and I knew it was coming, and I keep, like, mashing roll. And then as a result, I end up rolling sometimes and sometimes not, despite the circumstances basically being identical. So I'm not really sure exactly what the story is. I don't usually have scenarios I need Leprechaun against. Yeah, I don't know that Leprechaun really has much value, to be honest. I mean, Heartbreaker could be something that's valuable. I mean, there are a ton of Phobies that have valuable abilities, but I just never feel like I want to invest the time and energy in Leprechaun. It just doesn't feel like it's all that useful. Honestly, if it had a smaller range, but better movement, I think I'd use it more. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it does enough. Alright, chat. Since we got that server error... Ooh, we got another response since I was talking about the survey earlier. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there is a survey up for Fright Night number 4. And what people would like to see as far as how the structure, the format for the event will go. It's also trying to discern what will cause somebody to not play, because there's no pleasing everybody. So at the end of the day, there's going to be an element of, all right, well, I'm choosing the least of all evils here. So the question becomes, what are people willing to grit their teeth and get through if they don't like it? As well as then pleasing as many people as possible. So if you haven't filled out the survey, hit up the Random Thoughts Discord, link in the description of this video. It's in there. All right, chat. So what are the notes for this game? What are the notes for this game? Destroyed them. All right, Taco. Taco says that they destroyed their opponent. Our good guy here is zoning in the orange trunks here on Home Sweet Home, which I go back and forth about this map. I'm not sure whether I like it or not. Sometimes I'm okay with it. Sometimes it just feels silly. It's so much of a bloodbath in the middle, frequently. I don't know. I'm not sold on this map. You don't like the healing pools? Why not? I don't mind them. They often don't play in. The problem is when they do, the game just elongates so much. So we get an interesting opener from both players. A bunch of 2-drops coming down. Since the leap was expended, we're looking at just a 506 hit on a 508 jar. Although this wouldn't have killed it anyway, 501.
That feels like a break.
We are going to see the good boy go down, it looks like. Yep. Bad guy banked to 4, which yields a Gin Sting. Alright, fair. Fair. Right now, the exchanges are... Well, I don't know about this one. Okay. The body block here with the Baby Snakey makes a lot more sense. Although Baby Snakey itself is a little weird. This feels a little weird. I don't see too many baby snakies. And as I was mentioning earlier, I felt the exchanges were favoring our hero, but maybe not. Because ultimately, like this jar, 10 health. So the jar is going to snipe this and then live, but likely then die to a follow-up bees. But bad guy is banked to 4 once again. Good guy here is now banked to 5. We do see the invade. That yields a 3-0 panic point advantage. Obviously, you can get the Eternal Night without too much trouble. The problem is the Henrietta will trade, and the baby Snaky will then be in range of the Jin Sting. So 8, 5's 13. It might live, but it's unlikely. Okay, this seems like a mistake. If you're gonna do this, I guess the idea here is that you don't take the damage on the baby Snaky. I guess this is fine. Because this means that the baby Snaky can tank all the hits from this. Ooh, mother load. This is an early mother load. I've talked about it before, but in my opinion, this map is great for turrets and Blasto. Yeah. Honestly, all the small maps seem to roughly fall into the same category of try and get out to an early advantage with your low drops so that your opponent is forced to keep committing low drops and you can bank and then you drop your big thing. A lot of the games revolve around a handful of tiny things and then one enormous thing that people bank to. That seems to be the common meta at this stage. And as you can see, it's kind of playing out as we had all of the early drops get cleared out just about in favor of Blastomatic and Motherload. The friggin' laser. The DT Classic. Is there a Blastomatic profile picture? Because DT's got to get that one. Wah. Yep. We need a lightsaber sound effect or something. Well, or like the pew pew G.I. Joe and Star Wars laser sound. No avatar. Womp wah. So now it's 3-0 going the other way. We see my least favorite erratic answer come out in the form of sheep. I've actually been forcing sheep a lot. Honestly, I don't know what the avatar would be, DT, because there's really not much to Blastomatic. Like, if you just make it the head, it's not going to be anything, you know what I mean? It's not going to look like anything. But I've been forcing sheep as an erratic answer specifically just to try it again, but it came up in my Discord earlier today. A-Trend was talking about it, and, like, I don't understand. Like, it just doesn't seem valuable enough. They need a flesh crawler avatar? That would be kind of cool. So we see the sheep explosion going down, just the extra damage. This has got to be a dead Motherload, right? Like, what was bad guy thinking here? Like, look at the bad guy turn here.
I feel like there's a spark between us.
So you annihilate this cat. You annihilate this cat, right? Okay, sure. You pop the Motherload ability. You reclaim a panic point. 4775, 4775. But, like, why? Accidentally use Sheep Soul? I assumed it was on purpose for the extra damage. Because it does do a little bit more than the base attack. But, I mean, maybe you had enough damage anyway. Need a Chucker high five profile. Just have a giant arm. That would be funny. So, is bad guy willing to sacrifice their Jin Sting? It would appear that is the case. Although this may look scary, because, by the way, 0 keys for both players. It may look scary to some degree, because, oh, the erratic's about to connect with the Blastomatic, and it's like, nah, it doesn't matter. Blah. Get the laser going. This is interesting. I would have elected to just kill the Jin Sting, probably. Like, the sheep is fine. The sheep is fine, but, like, kill the Jin Sting. I don't... Like, they might have been able to kill the Blastomatic, but realistically, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That Motherload play was just an enormous head-scratcher. There's no way for bad guy to win now. Like, they can't. Spent a lot of keys on the endgame, and Erratic takes too long to get relevant with Blast already in the mix. Honestly, if they still had Motherload on the board for these last several turns, they might have had a chance. But sending the Motherload in to just die for no purpose, like, it did nothing. What did it hit? It hit the sheep, who still got to connect with Erratic. It hit the Jar, who's still alive. It hit the Blastomatic, who doesn't care. And then what was the other thing? Like, the Gesundheit that still got to attack? Like, nothing they did mattered. As far as that, as far as the Motherload is concerned. This has 600 health. Less than 600 now. And at this stage, I can only assume that bad guy scooped it up. 500 health on this. Eventually, you'd walk this back in. Overestimated Motherload's HP. I mean, if you do the quick math, sometimes that happens. Like, realistically, it just happens sometimes. 1, 2, 3. The problem is... Oh, sorry, getting tired. The problem is that this would have... I don't know... I don't remember if Taco's at the level to have Snowball, but there could have been a Snowball follow-up that would have been even more damage down on this Motherload. There was just no way it was going to survive. No shot. But GG, well played, Taco. Well played. Yeah, sometimes Phobies, I've talked about on many occasions before, but Phobies ultimately is a game of singular turns. You know, it sounds weird, but I'm trying to kind of bring it to the football saying it's a game of inches. It matters every single thing you do, even the minor stuff. And while we saw a rather egregious misplay on that turn. I had the hard health so I could outlast him. I'm level 36. Gotcha. So, while we saw a rather egregious misplay, it's like, okay, you just incinerated 7 keys and lost an enormous amount of tempo and the board position and everything you had going for you. And then some. However, it serves to highlight that a single turn can absolutely change the face of a game. I've had games offline even today where a single error ended the game on the spot, and it doesn't have to necessarily be and I don't want this to sound insulting, but at lower ranks, at lower stress levels. I'm avoiding the word lower skill levels, or phrase lower skill levels specifically, but it is not uncommon when you're first starting out, they're like, oh, well, if I lose this thing, it's not that big a deal, because realistically, both players are making so many errors across the course of the game that either player 1 makes a mistake and player 2 doesn't capitalize on it. Shut up, Lippy.
More rewards.
Shut up, Lippy. Like, player 1 makes a mistake and player 2 doesn't capitalize on it because they don't see it or they didn't prepare for it, they didn't properly set up, whatever. Or player 1 makes a mistake, and then player 2 makes an even worse mistake, and it just kind of seesaws back and forth as players are making errors and then catching their opponent on errors or whiffing on the errors or whatever. And then as you advance in the ranks, and if you look, and we'll probably spectate another high-level game tonight. Ooh, we got... Zaffrai, I don't think is somebody that's commonly up here. I don't recognize that name. Most of these other names I do. But the point is, like, if you play against A-Trend, winner of Fright Night number 3, Throwing that out there. And Gamer's up here too. Runner-up in Fright Night number 3. If you play against these people, you know that if you screw up, they are absolutely going to tear your throat out. Like, it's going to happen. You will lose. Now, they are not machines. They will make their own mistakes, and sometimes they are on the losing end of it, or they end up handing a game back. But it is way less likely for Hakune to make a mistake than it is for somebody in heebie-jeebies, obviously. It's often just down to experience. Point being is that games can and will get decided on single turns, and often that turn is way earlier than most people think, and you may not even realize it until you go back and look at the game and go, oh yeah, that was the turn that did it, because I lost this phobia, or I took an extra hit on this, or I failed to get an extra hit on that, which then led to the snowball 8 turns later of us jockeying for position. Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero style. I don't know if Sub-Zero ever ripped someone's throat out. They're actually, you know what's weird? I like Mortal Kombat, and I actually feel like at least in Mortal Kombat 11, that the fatalities are, a lot of them are not good. Not good as in like, okay, Mortal Kombat has always been kind of gross, right? And there were ones in earlier iterations, I'm specifically thinking like the skin rip ones by like Shiva in Mortal Kombat 3 and Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, where they were gross. But it's like, okay, it was super cartoony. Now it's hyper realistic, and it's like, okay, well, people will be put off by that. I get it. To me, it also feels weird that you're going through these grotesquely sadistic executions, when it feels like some of these characters, it would both be darker and more, in a more violent way, and more fitting with the character. For example, Kano. His original fatality in Mortal Kombat 1 is he literally punches through your chest and tears out your heart. By the way, there's now going to be a Storm Collectibles toy, which I'm really excited for. I'm excited to get Kano. But anyway, so in Mortal Kombat 1, he tears out your still beating heart, right? Horrifying, right? Obviously, it's gotten more graphic as time has gone on.
Well, how about that?
But shut up, Lippy. Jesus. Come on, Lippy, give me a break. But to me, I think it would be way more horrifying if Kano literally just walked up to your opponent and choked them out. Like, just grab them both hands by the neck and choke them to death. Rather than going through all of this lunacy where, like, they hack all their limbs apart or tear their skin off or, like, blow holes in their body, but they're somehow still alive. And, like, I get it's for the comedic value, and it might have to be over-the-top violent where it's like, no human being would actually, like, you would go into shock. You wouldn't know any of this. Like, you have to go over the top for this stuff. Because if you had a fatality that was, like, close to real life, that's actually too horrifying by comparison. Which seems weird that you have, like, he pins you against a wall and then literally tears you in half, but not, like, at the waist or down the middle and bisects you. It's, like, from your fingertips and peels the front half of you off. And it's like, okay, that's not possible. That's not a thing that you can do. I mean, I guess it's possible in some way, but I'm not going to imagine how. That, because it's so over the top and so cartoony violent, that, like, it's not... It clearly grosses people out, it clearly puts people off, but it's not gonna hit home as much as, like, Kano walking up and choking someone to death. Because, like, that, the one is, okay, that's movie horror violence. It's like watching a slasher flick and then something horrible happening to somebody. Versus something where it's just, this is more like a gritty mob movie. And it's like, yeah, somebody in a dark alley could do that to you, sort of thing. They're both horrible. They're both graphic and violent, but they're different kinds of violence. And I have to wonder, does the Mortal Kombat team do that in that way to avoid those sort of scenarios? So, thought I saw a bug. do they go that route in order to avoid that potential issue? I'm surprised Mortal Kombat games are on Nintendo devices. They've always been. They've been on there since the Super Nintendo. Now, on Mortal Kombat 1, they changed all the blood to sweat and just colored it like grayish white. Geras. I can't believe I couldn't think of his name. Sorry. I had like... My brain is very fuzzy right now, and I don't know why. I honestly think it's the heat right now. My mouth is getting kind of dry. I've been drinking a lot of water today, but like, man, I just don't feel right. But Geras is... He's Kronika's, like, first lieutenant, essentially, and he's immortal. And he has all kinds of, like, time manipulation powers, and he literally can control, like, instead of figurative sands of time, it's literal sands of time. Like, he can summon a sand clone of himself, or sand spikes. His friendship is he creates a giant sandcastle, obviously. But yeah, Nintendo has long since jettisoned that they are the kiddie console. They absolutely have, quote-unquote, adult-geared games. The robot? Well, he's not really a robot, I don't think. Yeah, Sector and Cyrax are the robots. I don't have them near me because I was doing some pictures. I have Sub-Zero, Baraka, 3 different versions of Scorpion, Goro, and Noob Saibot within arm's reach. Checking my desk. And I have Kintaro behind me. I thought the one chick made him. Well, Kronika, I don't really know the lore for Geras, because I didn't beat the campaign as him, so I don't know the arcade mode. I don't know if he's Kronika's underling, but I don't know if he's a summon, like a construct, or if he was like her minion and then he got infused with magic and enhanced, and therefore he has these powers, and that essentially makes him like robotic. I understand why you get the idea that he's like, because there's certain like lines in his skin that, and the way he reforms himself and stuff. I kind of get it. There's a Sub-Zero robot one. Yeah, Mortal Kombat 9 in the alternate timeline. Well, Smoke Robot is literally smoke. So it's Sector is the red one, Cyrax is the yellow one, Smoke, and then there was Cyber Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat 9. That's where the Mortal Kombat streamers that I always reference, P&D, Ketchup, and Mustard, that's where they... Because those are the code names for Sector and Cyrax before Mortal Kombat 3 came out, was Ketchup and Mustard, for obvious reasons. Frost is a robot in 11. Yes, Frost is also a robot, because she went through the Lin Kuei cybernetic program. And she also works for Kronika. Exactly, yeah. I'm very curious what they're going to do for Mortal Kombat 12, because so they did all of them up to Armageddon, and then Armageddon was the big reset, right? Raiden goes back in time, and that's how we get Mortal Kombat 9. Mortal Kombat 9 is a combination of Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3. Then you get Mortal Kombat 10, which is kind of sort of Mortal Kombat 4 with Shinnok. Then you get Mortal Kombat 11, who sidestepped Deadly Alliance and Deception, and instead brings in Kronika. Now that presumably Liu Kang won and became the Fire God and reset the timeline, it's possible Onaga and then Order Realm and Chaos Realm come back into the picture. They weren't really referenced in Raiden's reset timeline, so we don't know if they existed or not. I mean, in the Mortal Kombat 10 comics, they did, but not in the video game, so I don't know if the comics count as canon or not. Presumably not. I think Injustice 3, that would be the right pattern, but they haven't mentioned that. What DLC crossovers in Mortal Kombat 12 have? Honestly, I would rather them bring back some of the existing guests. Like, I liked having Alien and Predator in it. It felt fitting. I liked having Spawn. I was not super sold on having guest characters at all, because I didn't like the horror movie characters. But I think if they... Because a lot of people are calling for NetherRealm to make a horror movie fighting game. So let's say you had the Mortal Kombat 10, 9, 10, or 11, pick any of them, fix the bugs and issues in 9, but anyway, 9, 10, and 11 engine, or even Injustice, and then it's Jason, Freddy, whatever the Texas Chain Leather something, whatever the Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy is, Michael Myers, Alien Predator, like pick all of the horror movies and like let them just do horrendous things to each other. Like Mortal Kombat taken to like the nth degree. Leatherface, that's it. I was just saying Leatherhead, and I'm like, that doesn't sound right. Imagine Mortal Kombat as a game like Super Smash Ultimate, where they put all the characters they have in their games in one game and they can fight each other. That's basically what Armageddon was. That game already exists. Well, there are games that exist like that, Taco, but they haven't been done in an official capacity that I'm aware of. Like, there are unofficial ports and things like that. But there isn't, as far as I know, something like... I don't think there's an official first-party sort of thing for that. It doesn't even necessarily have to be AAA, although if it came from NetherRealm, it would be. But we haven't even heard what they're working on, and Ed Boon is notorious for leaking things and teasing people intentionally, not like leaking things and like, oops, I didn't mean to tell you that. It's very much teasing people to get them excited, but there's been nothing, and there's been multiple conventions and multiple opportunities for them to have brought something on board, or, you know, alluded to it. The anniversaries for Mortal Kombat the original have come and went. The anniversaries for the movie have come and went. Nothing. I don't know. I'm not sure what they haven't planned. And I am of the opinion, and this can probably segue into the next thing, but I am of the opinion that it's fine. We'll wait. We'll enjoy what we have, and people deserve to not have crunch, and people deserve to get paid. So if they are taking their time to do the game right, and it's going to take longer so that they don't stress out their team and they don't, you know, like ruin people's lives by working them into the ground, great. I've said it before on stream, and it's not my saying, but I want more expensive games that take longer to come out and look worse. I do, because I think that the game industry has abused people for too long, employees specifically we're talking about, and they're not alone, in a variety of different ways, and I think it would be better if they would chill. Is that true, Taco? Quality over quantity? I mean... There was a recent post about Callisto Protocol, which is a horror game that's coming out at the end of the year, where the CEO or one of the head honchos tweeted something out that essentially was like, oh, well, we're all working 20-hour days, and we're working 6 days a week, and everybody's busting their hump, and all this, and, you know, blah, 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 and everybody loves it, and everyone's like, whoa, does everybody love it? What the fuck? And then the guy put out an apology, because it's like, yeah, you're getting pilloried for that, because that's insane. Like, I'm paraphrasing. That wasn't exactly what he said, but he was like, absurd hours, way more days a week than you're supposed to. Like, I don't think, it might have been like 16 hours days. Even then, that's still like insane. That's an absurd amount of work for a video game. If that game got delayed until summer 2023 or winter 2023 because they needed the time instead of crunching, I'm fine with that. No one will die. You know what I mean? Like, it's insane. Ever played any of the CD Projekt Red games? I played Gwent, and that's it. But before we jump into that, switching gears here, chat. I'm a little sparkly because my green screen doesn't quite work on this. But I mentioned it on other streams, and I want to call it out. The United States elections are coming up at the end of this year, 2022. Make sure you vote. This is not just for federal Congress. This is also for your state governments. This is also for your local governments. This is also for the dog catcher. I don't care. Research your candidates, vote. There are a number of candidates, including the vast majority of the Republican Party, as pointed out by the president. I disagree with the president. They are not semi-fascists. They are full-blown fascists. They are a danger to both America and the world. And I really believe that because they are lunatics. You can see in their rhetoric, you can see that they are attacking the very foundations of the country, its founding principles, and what any decent person would want. That is things like rights for other people. Say, I don't know, women. They're people too, I know, shocker. Or what about anyone who happens to be, not white? People of color matter. There's a reason that I have that up there. That is not a political thing, but it is important and it's relevant. Trans rights are human rights, as are all of the other people that are a part of LGBTQA. This is important. You need to vote. Additionally, if you have the opportunity to donate to any causes, there are people in need both in the United States as well as across the world, whether it's the people in Ukraine who are suffering at the hands of Russia, whether it is in Pakistan who are suffering from the floods, whether it is here in the United States in Jackson, where in the United States of America in the year of our Lord Jesus Christ, 2022, they do not have clean water. It's insane. So, just putting that out there, and as mentioned before, this is going to continue to come up as we get closer and closer to the elections, because I want to make sure that I use whatever small platform that I have in order to educate people, talk about these topics, because I don't want to shy away from it. This is important, and as compared to me talking about games and having fun playing stuff, this is stuff that will impact everybody's lives. And there are tons of people out there who do not have the opportunity to say, yeah, you know what? I don't want to be bothered with politics. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to talk about it. And I understand people needing to take a break because these are heavy topics. It is draining and exhausting to tell other people that, yeah, those people over there, they're human too, and they deserve rights. And it's insane that that is a conversation that even needs to be had in this day and age. But it's a fight that's going to have to continually be fought because, unfortunately, there are bad people out there. And that's the bottom line. So the notes here from Gamer, our hero in the orange trunks here on Biff's room, is Smiley? What's Smiley? Smiley on this map is kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting. By the time they realized they couldn't win with Jar against my Spud Stairmaster, Jar, Jinsting, Chuck, Tramples, they just walked on the lava? What? It's like, I have all the things. Good luck, friend. So we're getting a Jinsting opener. So this is notable. Gamer, as we were looking at the ladder earlier, is pretty high up there. Dragon, whatever, is also pretty high up there. So this is an important game to take note of. We will do a separate higher level game breakdown, but this is one that we should pay attention to for anybody out there playing along at home that wants to take notes. We get a double turret opener. And then we get a Jinsting into Thunder Rocks. This is a very strange, this is a wild departure from what we typically see on this map. They sent in Cyclops and Gator to hit Chuck, then didn't kill it and lost them both. I hope it was an arena game and they ran out of time, because otherwise, why would you do that? Trading one key Phobies on Xylo at the moment? Sounds like a Xylo game. Alright, so we get turrets coming in from Gamer as well. Jar is going to allow for some softening hits onto our hero here. And then we get a Murder Wing. Neither player is electing to bank just yet. So this is kind of running contrary to what I had pointed out earlier, how I feel most smaller maps go down. And that is typically a flood of one-drops early on, some early game violence, and then banks into larger things. They should make a rank mode where all the Phobies are level 1. We can talk about that after the game, but I don't think that'll ever happen, Concito. So we get a Matic Jinsting. Immediately, as soon as I said players weren't banking, I look away for a second, all of a sudden they were banked to 6. Hematic Jinsting, and our blue player also has 6. So it appears both players wanted to get instead 4 Phobies onto the board and then go for the banks. Makes sense. Neither player has elected to try and cap this middle. Also makes sense given that we haven't seen any smaller drops in order to try and replace anything here. Now, the Smiley has finally materialized. So, real talk, chat, I don't know if anybody's heard of this game, but there's a card game called Gruff, based off of the Three Billy Goats Gruff fairy tale. And basically, it's supposed to be mutated goats, aka Gruffs, become the de facto weapon of choice for the shepherds who have now taken over this post-apocalyptic world. But one of their expansions was all of the Gruffs are like demonic stuffed animals. And that's what Smiley reminds me of, because they would have like stitches and then like button eyes sewed on and stuff like that. And that's what Smiley reminds me of, because these hinge things, or maybe these are supposed to be like, you know, like the bolts on Frankenstein's monster, where they zap it with electricity to juice it. Maybe that's how it was brought back to life. Gamer isn't looking too good against the Smiley without any mechanicals, excluding cowbell. Well, according to Gamer, the Smiley was no issue, so we'll have to see. We didn't actually see the Thunder Rocks connect with this Bow Mangles either, which is very interesting. And it had the opportunity this turn. No, it did not. Never mind. The Bow Mangles had they had shifted it. Isn't it dead? Is what dead? The Smiley? I mean, yeah, if you want to get your whole team diseased, I guess. So this is very interesting, giving up the 2 Gin Stings to the disease. We're about 9 turns from the end. So it's not the 2 Gin Stings, but instead Hematic and Stabby who are going to get diseased. This also reclaims the panic point for the bad guy here. Now, once they're diseased, of course, you don't care anymore. You might as well lay into it. That's 10 keys basically gone. Yes and no. So the thing is that you do have to, as the blue player, either have enough time. You have to be patient enough to let the disease take them out, which in the case of Stabby won't be much longer. But in the case of Hematic Gin Sting, it will tank it for a little bit. This is bold. Like, I would have... Maybe this Bow Mangles needed, like... This Stabby's still going to get a hit on it, or onto this. So we get a little bees action. We get the Stabby trading with... See, like, this is what you can't allow to happen. There's no reason to let that Stabby die. So you can kill the Thunder Rocks, but you're going to have to keep everything in position in order to do it. A full retreat would have been a much better idea. I think that's basically where we're at, is that, yes, the Stabby connected, or the Smiley connected, and it seemed like it was going to be a horrendous, like that, oh my god, I can't believe that all my stuff is diseased. But ultimately, you're still getting some value out of this. It's 7 keys to 7 keys, and like, you're still going to get attacks off with this. Like, the Hematic Gin Sting isn't even going to die from this disease this turn. Look at this. So we get the Clinico to back up the Hematic Gin Sting just to give it some more life. Because there's no threat to the Gin Sting now. Gonna heal 900 health. The sheep follow-up. I don't know about the sheep, but the sheep seems okay. You are on a clock as the orange player. But you have your opponent on a significant clock as well. You have triple panic point advantage, and they can't get through your forces. Like, look at this Thunder Rocks. Honestly, maybe Thunder Rocks is the answer to Bow Mangles. You get bees to take down the jar. Honestly, if I was blue player, I'd be tilting out of my mind right now. I'd be tilting out of my mind because it's just like, how did I lose from this position? 20, 40 health. Get the elimination there. Sheep hit going down. Doesn't matter. Jin Sting's in position. So's Cat. Well played, gamer. This is the drawback of Smiley. GG. I think we'll go back in that game and... Whoop, didn't mean to do that. I just want to look at the Smiley turn. And maybe the subsequent turns. So this turn, Smiley connects, and you'd think that, okay, this is exactly what the blue player wants. You're going to get it on Stabby. Stabby's going to die very quickly. You can get it on Hematic Jin Sting. This almost feels like a bait from Gamer, though, where they just know the math and how this is going to work out, but I don't think that's the case. I think this might have been an initial error by Gamer allowing it to have the Hematic get hit as opposed to regular Jin Sting. Like, maybe you flip these two. If he wants to hit Stabby, he could have done it this turn. The thing is I don't know... Like, this turn, this setup, why? This Stabby is so low, they're obviously coming after you with the Stabby. Like, why? The only thing I could think is that it was unexpected that either this Jin Sting or this Jin Sting would go in. Which, again, I don't see how that's possible. They're clearly going to come after you because these things are diseased. They're on a clock. It just felt like this should have been back one more, and this should have been back one more. Like, maybe don't even attack this Stabby. Because if this Stabby lives... You could even get the Stabby later, and I get wanting to avoid... I understand the attack. I understand the attack because you want to... You're trying to make sure that the Stabby dies to the disease so that you don't get pulled and take a bunch of damage. But you're just losing your Stabby, and if you're going to lose your Stabby, you might as well just leave it there. Like, there's no point in running it away. But the bow mangles probably needed to be farther back. Because right now it's 7 keys to 4 keys. Right now, Gamer's winning on a key count. And yes, a bunch of deaths subsequently happened, but... I don't know. That's a weird one. It's a weird one. So, Chad, how do you feel about a, like, stream question of the day sort of thing? I was thinking about it because there are a bunch of, like, advice things for what streamers should do to help grow and engage with the community. And one of them is, like, have a question of the day to help your chat, you know, start people chatting, basically. And as I thought about it, I'm like, I don't know if I necessarily need that because chat is generally pretty good about bringing up stuff. Exactly, like, what bug did you eat today? It would be a bee, but... No, not today, although that's happened by accident before. Coffee in 20 minutes, I can buy my terrifying packs. Nice. But the question I mentioned to my wife offline, like, there's actually a website that comes up with random streamer questions. And one of them, like, I was clicking the button just to see what the random questions were like. Spider very salty. Have you actually eaten spider before, Marcisi? Because we were talking about that the last couple days. I don't know if you were lurking in chat when that happened, but... a spider while sleeping. That is a statistic that people eat. Like, it was, I'm making up the number, but it was like 11,000 spiders in their lifetime or something, or it was like some number of spiders a year. I forget, but it's like, yeah, people eat a lot of bugs while they're asleep by accident. Yes, and very good. What kind of spider? Because this was I'm not joking, this was a conversation that went on for a long time yesterday. I've eaten grasshopper. Grasshopper's very crunchy. I could see that. Your spiders are all legs. You know, I was actually thinking about that today. So I was on a walk, and I was thinking about the chat conversation last night. This is a very weird stream. People are going to check out this stream highlight video a couple weeks from now and be like, what is going on? People say it tastes like chicken. Chicken is always the comparison when it's like, oh, well, this is just arguably tasteless without other seasoning. But I was wondering, because I think Atona was saying, like, why do people draw the line at spiders? Like, why would you not eat a bug when you eat these other things? What's the difference? And I wonder if it has to do with, like, the visual in your head of what the texture is going to be like. Because when you think of a normal animal that you would consume, like chicken or beef or pork, you eat the underlying flesh, right? I'm not an expert on spider or insect anatomy, but I know spiders basically work on like a pressure system for their legs, for example. So I don't know how much of it is muscle and therefore something to eat. And like whether the outside of the bug, like the chitin or however you pronounce it, like the bug's skeleton, the exoskeleton, changes how the textures would be when you eat it. The long legs I don't like, but the big is I like is more meat. Okay, so like the body tastes like chicken. Gotcha. The flesh is soft under the tough skin. I would imagine that is the case. That it's, you know, like Lippy's gonna choke you out if you don't play. Lippy's like freaking out about my async games. Lippy is way more concerned about them than I am. It's like, Lippy, you need to chill, friend. You need to calm down. It's not that big a deal. We will all survive. So, Rodizio, we got to make sure we do your game. We didn't do one of yours this weekend yet. No, we didn't. We'll do Rodizio's game. We'll continue the bug eating discussion. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm sure we'll be on this. But here's the question of the day. So I didn't get to finish that thought, chat, before I catch up on chat. Oh, it's because it has the accent. Rodizio, what's your in-game name? Oh, wait, is it, Rodizio? I did have the accent, though. Like, I copied and pasted it out of the spreadsheet. Why did it not pull up the first time? Like, I promise I hit the... Like, it didn't... whatever. It's here now. So, the thought I was trying to finish is, if we did a question of the day, I kind of wanted... I mean, I would have difficulty coming up with a question every day, and then I would feel like... I would feel stressed out about it. But here's the question that I was thinking of, chat. In your opinion, what is more terrifying? The monsters that are in the deep, like we're talking oceanic creatures, aquatic wildlife, or forest wildlife? There is a correct answer here, and I'll reveal the answer later, but chat can jump in on that one since we've been talking about eating bugs. Getting so close to Snowballed. Rodizio's almost there. Alright, so this is against... There we go. Notes here for our hero Rodizio in the blue trunks on the floor is lava is never give up. Around round 10, I messed up and had practically lost the game. But I kept playing and got the opponent to lose an impossible game for me. I love those come from behind victories. Let's see. All right, so we get... I prefer a triple one-drop opener on this as the blue player going first, but I can respect the 2-1. This straight-up Jin Sting is weird, though. The straight-up Jin Sting is weird. Is tomorrow's stream more Phobies? Tomorrow's likely more... It's going to be variety. It's Monday, so it's variety night. I can't play any games on this map. It's tough. It's tough, Rodizio. I have a question. How late do you upload your streams to YouTube? Because I want to see my game submissions. It's right now. So I have uploaded... I have it up right now, so I'll pause and let you know. 56. So the next one that's scheduled to go up is the 13th. Not it's going up the 13th. It's from August 13th. Is edited and literally on YouTube waiting to be pushed live. Part of the reason that they are getting delayed a little bit is, well, so the 12th is scheduled already. The 13th hasn't been scheduled but is uploaded. Again, from August. Because of like Fright Night and trying to get those things up, and then if there's any Phobies news, sometimes they get pushed back. That's why I'm behind, basically. It's roughly like 2 weeks. But it depends on whether there's other videos that need to go up. But anyway. So we start equalizing this into... Yeah, if you want to... The VODs are there. The VODs are available. I did look at your game, I think, last night for 2-Type. But we do get a more standard setup here. Oddly enough, Bad Guy has just seeded these 4 panic points. Well, not seeded them, but given their opener, they can't really contest this stuff. Our hero has the turret in position. This is pretty cool. I like this. Given the retreat here, this is pretty cool. The Jin Sting is going to end up dead one way or another. This does look like it's going very much in favor of our hero here. Except for that. The damage on the jar is less than ideal. I need Gravedigger when I play second here. What obstacle do you want to break, Onda? So finally, Bad Guy has equalized the panic points, and now it's looking dicey. Because while you get this Jin Sting kill, this Unbearable means that you're losing this Murder Wing. Wait, can you kill this somehow? No, 700 health, there's no way. This is pretty aggressive from our hero here, dropping the canine onto the lava. Both of these two are going to die. And they may be able to retreat their Unbearable to a safe position. So the Unbearable is now healed up to 987, which means that it's going to require 3 hits, and the jar is already expended. So this baby Snakey is actually in a horrendous position. So like I said, the Unbearable will barely live, requiring this hit from the baby Snakey, and then we get a follow-up Bow Mangle. So we're looking at 3, 6, 9 keys to 8. Slight key advantage to Bad Guy, but it's going to grow because obviously the baby Snakey is not long for this world. And our hero is now given up the panic point advantage. And without a jar or a Murder Wing, the mobility is exceptionally limited. We know that Rodizio's lower on the stress level, so we're not looking at a snowball coming out. Presumably, collection-wise, it's not as wide, so we're not going to see a huge plethora of different options. So we're going to have to make it work with what we got. And maybe Snakey's in a bad place. I screwed up. Yeah, I mean, yes. It's not the end of the world. But we do see a Zappy coming in, which could be the end of the world here. So this, we passed up on turn 10, which was this turn. Which was where the notes were saying that something bad went down, and that's exactly it. You see, between the baby Snakey and the canine and Murder Wing, like, we see the results of this. So now it's trying to see whether our hero can claw out of this hole. Zappy, weird choice. It's a turret that will fight Bow Mangles, I guess, is the thought process. It could have been an erratic, which I've seen on this map. Triple turrets. I mean, yes. We also get a Clinico, meaning that the Zappy and a sheep. I'm not gonna lie, I don't see how our hero gets out of this one. Oh no, bad guy. Does this thing just die? It shouldn't. I mean, you obviously attack it 4 times, because what else are you gonna do? Maybe it does die. Even Bo Mangles gets hit in. I don't know about the repositioning, but does Bo do more damage? Yeah, Bo does more damage. So that means that it will die. So Sheep trades for Zappy. That's not a thing that you don't... That's not a thing you see every day. But does it trade for Zappy? It actually trades for Zappy and... Wow, really, bad guy? This reeks of, I've got this game in the bag. So obviously this kills the Murder Wing. The jar cannot kill... Because, like, look at this. Why? I don't know about this one. And then the Gesundheit dies to the lava? Oh my god, why? Bad guy threw so hard? I mean, yes, but at the same time, they still have a 4-2 panic point advantage, so our hero has to do something. Hero has to do something. What? No! No! Not like this! Not like this! Holy shit! Oh my god! Rodizio, where are you? There you are. Oh my god, chat. The trap from 1850, yeah, it's an antique bear trap. If the jar stood there, bad guy, yeah, oh, like, no. Honestly.
No!
Why? I gotta see this again, oh my god. Chat, I almost want to highlight this to, like, make a clip out of it, but I don't know, because it's like 85 turns of there's no chance you can win, and then, oh my god, why did they do this? If you notice, he would kill me if he approaches me. Yes, he absolutely can't go after your Bo Mangles, I think. We'll get to that point so we can point it out. Alright. 12 health. But bad guy can literally sit either here, or better yet, here, it doesn't matter, and cover all of these panic points. There was a trap phobie. There has to be a trap. There's no reason to go in. You are more mobile than your opponent. And if they set foot into range, you kill them. Like, he literally doesn't need to move. Just pass turn. This is amazing bait, though. This is amazing bait, because here's the thing. 100% what went through this person's head, 100% what went through this person's head was that, oh, well, this person just BMing me. They're dragging the game out for no reason. And they're like, fine, I'm just going to end the game faster. Well, you did end the game faster. I don't know what to say. GG. Well done, Morbid. Or Rodizio, rather. I don't know why I said Morbid. I looked at chat. Well done, Rodizio. That is, in fact, a way to win the game. That is a way to win the video game. Incredible. It was async. Fair. But even then, it's like, okay, just pass turn. Unless maybe they were trying to get in the game, like, before the rollover, which, by the way, 3 minutes. I went with the Clinico the same way because I wouldn't fall for his traps. Nice. Happened to me, too, in RCO. My opponent only had Ted left, and I have a jar left. My jar steps on a trap, and I lose. Oh, no. Oh, no. I mean, I'm sure I've done it, too. It happens. Wait, did somebody clip that? Oh, man, that is just brutal. I just died the same way on a Jeeves trap. Oh, no, Morbid. I'll win a game in the future versus Zonda with a bait. Now you two have this trap rivalry going on. There's a trap rivalry that's happening. You rarely see me laugh like that. I feel like I don't know. I talked about it a little bit during Rumbleverse last night. I hope people don't take it as me enjoying Phobies less. I really do still love Phobies. Content affiliate, all that stuff. Got a hashtag sponsored, you know. But I really do love Phobies. It's just that now I mean, we've seen all the Phobies minus the stress unlocks. There's very few interactions that don't come up, quote unquote, regularly now, because I play Phobies so much, I observe so much Phobies. So I don't want to, you know, it takes something wild to really like, oh my god, over the top kind of thing. So I hope people don't interpret it as me losing love for Phobies. It's just like, okay, things are normal. The normal is a very good thing, but it's still the normal, so I don't know. Shut up, Lippy. Good God. Nobody cares. Nobody cares, Sean. Shout out to my Scrubs fans. So chat. Season's gonna roll over in just over a minute. We'll have to restart the client. We'll try and play a game. Wait, I just realized, did we review the Hypereat game yesterday by accident? There's a Hypereat Alien Engineer game in... Let's look at Hypereat's profile. He probably has it saved. It's the wrong spot. I don't think we looked at this game. I don't think we looked at this game. So we'll take a look at this one. After that, I do want to mix in one high-level game review aside from this. But I don't want to do that I don't want to do it. I want to try and actually play some games. Yeah, the other game that I looked at from them was on Exponential Decay. So it's not the same game. The riskiest game I've ever had are the notes from our hero, Hypereat. All right, Hypereat. Let's see how risky this game is against Alien Engineer. I did recently do a game breakdown between these players, but on a different map, taking a little different tack than I typically do for our game viewer-submitted game reviews, reviewing some high-level, high-ranking ones. If you want to see more of those, let me know down in the comments, or come by the live stream RTChompGG over on Twitch. Of course, likes and subscribes always help. But for now, we're going to be jumping into the Xylo game. Pretty standard stuff from each player, but you do want to take notice of what we do here. Make the sir laugh. So we get an attractor. I can't replicate the attractor. I don't actually have it. Imagine going from Sum of All Fears 3 to Heebie-Jeebies 1 to beat up new players. What? I mean, people do that in other games in Smurf. I'm 2 points away from Doomsday 3. You getting up there, Gonzito? That would be pretty toxic. It would also take forever to D-rank, but... So the attractor here has got to factor into the major plays. Notably, Hypereat is banking to 11. Despite not having a panic point advantage, I understand not running in the cat, because as we talked about before, sacrificing your 1-drop for theirs so they just recap the point seems kind of silly. I feel super dehydrated today, chat. So the bank was for a boss. Bank for the boss. We have watched some other Hypereat games. Notably, I think Hypereat had boss on Eternal Monday, and the last time we saw a Hypereat game in viewer-submitted game reviews. I could be incorrect about that. But we match the yoinks here with a spider from our blue player, bank to 8 as well. Both players bank to 8. I'm curious where Hypereat's going to go with this. Okay, so we finally see the invade to recap the center panic point. They now flip to orange, but chat was pointing this out earlier. This map, if you don't have the yoink advantage, aka you have spider and octonauty, or attractor and spider, or some other mother and octonauty, you know, whatever. If you don't have a 2 or more to 1 or any sort of advantage in yoinks, this map does tend to devolve into trading 1 keys because it's just verging on impossible to invade. You know, it's a lot of choke points. But we do get a yoink here because the attractor ends up on the stim. We get a snipe with the another laser beam, and then we get a meatball. This should presumably finish off the spider. Ouchtown population alien engineer, because that is a big resource. That yoink advantage now is in favor of Hypereat at a 2-0 rate. Now, this is a little weird. Boss does have a bunch of HP, so the fire damage doesn't matter too much, but I'm not sure what the purpose of just hitting this cat for is. I guess just to set it up to die next turn, because otherwise, if you don't do it now, it's another turn away, and the cat could walk away, and, you know, you don't want to have that happen. Because then they could just recap the middle. Cleaning up your opponent's 1-drops is important. So we get the repositioning here. Lets the spider and the attractor control different ends of the map. I never break walls here, maybe I should. I tend to. I have Crushmore, so it also plays into the lob. I think it's pretty strong. I think it's worthwhile. So we get the 1-drop, but Alien Engineer is banked to 13. Obviously, the Ray Chargels is intended to deal with these. But Hypereat has shown no fear of the Ray Chargels because they supplemented the forces with a Hevo. Realistically, this is going to come down to 1 key trading for a little bit longer until these get back online. Now that the Ray Chargels has vacated, there's no real threat, and if you send anything up here as Alien Engineer, you're immediately going to lose it to a yoink. And obviously, you can't threaten down here on the stim more than a single shot because you'll get yoinked by the spider. That was weird. I suddenly got the hiccups. It was like a single hiccup. That was uncomfortable. Do not recommend. Get a little alligator action, chat. That is... Okay, so this is not something you typically see on this map. This is not something you typically see on this map. Because, yes, there's lava. But you don't generally want melee things. So the answer from Alien Engineer is foul. This foul is going to have 544 damage, which will eat away slowly, but still eat away at the alligator's health. AKA, it's above and beyond the heal. We get an aggressive invade here. I like this. This body blocks for the attractor. We know there's no pole. You can't boop out of spawn. And it's very unlikely that there's going to be enough damage going down to kill this gator. It has 3,300 health. It's not impossible, because this hits for 1,000 on its own. Twice with this, so that's, well, almost 1,000. So we'll round it up to 1,000. 1,800 plus this. 24. 29. This actually could be a dead gator, but all of that stuff would then be in range to be yoinked, possibly double yoinked. So instead, we're going to see the disease go down. That attractor looks in danger. See, the thing is that it can't be touched by anything unless they clear this gator first. And that means that they sunk all their efforts into it. Yep. So it's a dead gator. So that gator ran across the map to cap a point and die. I don't think that was a very useful use of the gator. So once again, we see Boss going in on the fire. Oddly enough, the fire is no friend to Boss. That's weird. 7 keys gone is right. I don't know about that. So the problem with having the muffin here is this can come in and kill it for free. Does that matter, though? Okay, they're going after the Hevo instead. Yeah, I see where the risk comes in here. The initial play by Hypereat put them at a big advantage, but this feels awkward. Imagine a 1v1v1v1 mode. I don't want to. That sounds nightmarish, Taco. Wait, hold on. We gotta look at this, because we see a cool yoink happening. So Spider goes in. It opens up the spot for the boosted yoink. Oh my god, chat. This is highlight worthy. Chat, you gotta look at this. Make way for a tractor. A tractor always leads to heinous plays. You get this massive yoink. Leads to you're fired. Get an additional yoink, and oh, by the way, that's in range of Innocuous. Don't even need the other hit. Don't even need the other hit. It's like the fade away. The look away as you walk away from the explosion in an action movie, and all the bad guys explode. That was a sick play. That was a sick play. I'm telling you, a tractor is ridiculous. A tractor is ridiculous. Now, in the meantime, Boss got diseased, but it almost doesn't matter. Yeah, I thought I clicked on it before the damage went through. You're now 2038 to Moffat? Oh, like you need 18 more upgrade points or whatever? Boss don't care, tankiest dimensional phobia? True. I mean, he does care. 800 damage a turn is a lot.
That is the mark of a master.
Is Glob dimensional? I thought Glob was a monster. Huh. Bunch of panic points go the other way, but you get the yoink. You get a little laser beams. Get a little dead funky chicken. And then there was Spud, who's about to become French fries. Well played, Hypereat. I mean, some of these there were multiple plays on both sides that felt like, oh, well, this is going to turn the tide of the game, but that yoink was just backbreaking. French fries, Spud, why I never think of that? Because you're not a fat guy like me, Honda. I'm always thinking about French fries. Trust me. They're always, well, I would say they're in the back of my head, but really they're at the forefront. I'm always thinking about French fries, specifically cheese fries. Little dead funky chicken, true story. GG, Hypereat, GG. I'd like a game mode just for fun with an arena with almost no obstacles in which you had 5 random phobies for you and your opponent. You had to fight until only one survived. The problem is with random phobies, what if you end up with, like, all 1 drops and they end up with all the 9 drops or something? There would have to be rules for it where it's like, you get one that's a 1 to 3 cost, a one that's a 4 to 5, a one that's a 6 to 7, and then a one that's an 8 to 9 or something like that. And then like one that could be anything, maybe. I think if they introduce one of those rotating modes, it would be interesting, but I don't know actually how interesting. I don't know. Personally, I don't play those modes in other games. I'm not saying they shouldn't exist. And it would be cool if those ideas happened, but they just don't. It feels like they siphon players away. So this was a comment by, I forget who made it earlier, but I wanted to come back to it. The idea of a ranked queue where everything was level 1. This could be a separate video, but I don't think that'll ever happen. Why don't I think that'll ever happen? Well, part of the reason is I talked a lot about it when I was talking about tournament mode, and the fact that we even got a mode where you can reduce phobies to level 1 is wild to me. I don't think they will ever give you something where you can get resources for it because, A, I legitimately don't think anybody would play regular ladder if that mode existed. Like, straight up don't think anybody would. The only people that would want to, obviously not literally nobody, the only people that would want to are the people who whaled the game. So, like, do you think Vladimir really wants to play where everything is all level 1s? Probably not. They put a lot of money into the game, clearly. Karth, do you really think they want to play all level 1s? Any of the people that are close or over stress level 100 or high up there? No, they put a lot of time, energy, and money into the game. It also doesn't behoove the company to do it. Now, again, I'm a content affiliate. They don't tell me this stuff. This is me inferring things from being around the games industry. It doesn't logically make sense. If, maybe yes, so you can play Sasquatch, possibly, but it also undercuts an entire level of their economy. Essentially, people get less out of their packs because all the experience then doesn't matter. It strictly matters for opening new phobies. So once somebody has a maxed out collection, which is a lower target than a maxed out max level collection, they have no need to continue buying packs until there's more stuff. Now, personally, I think they probably would be fine like that, but I haven't run the numbers. That's something that there's no way they haven't run those numbers to know what the average length of time and or cost it would be to get that level of, well, level. You got there, dogewhal, grats. Grats. But small if it's a big deal. So, long story short, do I think there will be a level 1 ranked mode? I mean, nothing's impossible. I just wouldn't expect it anytime soon because there's no incentive for them to do that. Unless it turns out that they think... The only way that it would make sense is if it turns out they think they can just make enough money to keep the lights on, pay their employees, do all the things they need to do as a business, because that part comes first, if they do it. Or if for some reason they think people would spend more money, which honestly I doubt. Now, there's an argument that until you hit that ceiling, people will continue probably spending money at the rate that they would until they hit the ceiling. It's just, if the ceiling is sky high and it's going to take them forever to get there, it may not matter. Shut up, Lippy. Jesus in heaven.
Go on, be a good sport and tease them a bit.
Shut up, Lippy. Like, if it's going to take, let's say, and I'm making up numbers, let's say it took $5,000 on average to get all the Phobies. And people are only going to spend money in, like, $20 increments whenever there's sales or, you know, stuff like that. They're probably still going to put out or outlay cash at that rate regardless. So it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't impact that continual outlay until they hit the maximum if you assume that psychology stays linear. Try to say in quest screen, maybe won't talk if you do. Maybe. I mean, I'm going to reload the client because we rolled over. I don't want to queue up into a game and then it bugs out. He talks to you in the album. Get our coffee. I think if you hit gold, the gold pack, I think you can pretty regularly... You can get more, but you'd have to put in a lot of effort. You can regularly get like 1,000 coffee a season. And that's like... I don't know. I know it's not a game for clans, but it'd be nice to have a team as a joke. People have requested clans, and I don't think that would be problematic. I've talked with other content creators, and I mentioned it on stream before, about doing intra-Discord, or inter-Discord, rather, tournaments. So, like, we figure out how we determine Team Chomp, and then it's Team Jelly Belly, and then it's Team Cha, and then it's Team that one guy, and then it's Team this person, and Team that person. And then the champions from each team would then compete in this tournament. And it would be cool, but plans I can see if you can donate cards. That would be useful, but I don't know if they're ever going to introduce that, because that screws with the economy a lot, and I don't know how people would do it. There was something else that somebody brought up that I was going to comment on, but I don't remember. I don't know. If you had a question or an idea or something you wanted me to talk about and I missed it, then let me know. Some of All Fears 3 gives 150 coffee per week if you get gold coffee cup. That's fair. I could get Some of All Fears 3, but I don't want to put in the effort. I'd have to, like, really try hard. And I don't have enough time to do that and do the stream. Like, if I was doing less YouTube stuff, I could. Basically, I get 2 terrifying pack from each season at Some of All Fears 3. The Bug Eaters clan. Whatever. Alright, so we're on Biff's room. Let's see what we can do here. We got a lot of game reviews in tonight. I do still want to do another high-level ladder breakdown game. But I think that comes down to, DT, that a lot of people, and I don't know if they knew or not, but a lot of people are under the impression that, like, you get more XP or more resources for doing X, Y, or Z as opposed to other stuff, and they don't necessarily realize what does or does not count. Well, I think it ends up being the same, if I'm correct, that, like, if you kill the heart and there's Phobies on the board, you get the experience and tears and stuff for the Phobies dying, but I'm not sure. That's a smiley. My game plan was to go with Gin Sting, but I think we're going to do this instead. We could put Gin Sting or Cassowary here. Like, is this an even trade for Smiley? It feels like it should be, but I don't know if it is. I bet it's the same if you win. I imagine that it evens out, because it wouldn't make sense to incentivize one gameplay pattern over the other. See, I don't know if that's true for Tute, because I think if you, say, kill all their phobies and their heart is at full health, exceptionally unlikely, but not impossible, I think that you get all the XP as part of the endgame winning. Yeah, DT is confirming that. Like, that... Which makes sense. I think I'm just gonna kill this thing. I don't want to dick around with it somehow living. Like, our opponent could peel off here and let the Stabby and Cassowary die, but... Okay. The only time I approve of delaying the game is they let me kill their phobies as well. I mean, that's reasonable. But it's difficult to communicate that when you're not in chat or something, you know what I mean? You're relying... Because if you are, as the winning player, are screwing around and be like, oh, well, I'll let them kill some of my phobies, and then, oops, you throw the game. Dev's confirmed because there's no benefit to prolonging things unnecessarily. I think they should probably add that to the, to, like, the tutorial or something, so that people are aware. Nice play. Yeah, this is the problem with... I mean, we saw it in the other game, but, like, this is the problem with Smiley, is that we're gonna get it. And the Cassowary is even gonna survive. We need some Morty. 1, 2, 3. Morty can't quite reach. Honestly, on Vile Vortis 11, I played an async game offline where I lost to a Morty, and I've won games with Morty on that map. I think it's really strong there. Smiley was too early. I can understand why they did it. Game. Game! I'm literally clicking behind it, come on!
Damage for you, and damage for you, and damage for you.
If they trapped here, I'm gonna be very upset. Okay, they didn't. 60 tiers away from a scary pack? So close. Didn't let myself get taken? I must have missed something in chat. What are we talking about? We're kind of clustered here. I can't get all of this stuff out unless I straight up run the Jin Sting away, which you might have to do. Sucky. I mean, they have some tanky phobies remaining. Meatball is down. Hi, baby! The baby! Hi, baby! You're such a good baby! You're such a good baby! The puppy came down to see me, and I'm very happy about it. Because she's a good baby. You are such a good baby. Yes, you are a good baby. I love you. You're such a good baby. What's the matter? You're a very good girl. What do we want to do here? We'll go with this. It lets us still get another 1-drop on the board and a healer. Because I think we're going to need that. What's the matter, little baby? Who's a good baby? Spending all day with mommy. Yeah, I know. I said her name. I'm boss? I don't know about that. I guess maybe I have the temper for it. Gotta do a Jackalope pack strat. I need to level up Cottontail, because I almost did that offline, and then I put out Cottontail, I'm like, wait, why is it only at 500? Oh, it's only level 1. Awkward. So they decided to let my cowbell live. That's a bold move, Cotton. Oh, we have max phobies. That's probably part of the reason. So they can trap up the middle. There's definitely traps down here. There might be one on the center now. I do, Taco. I just haven't spent it. We're actually going to back this off, because if this gets meatball, they won't be able to tank the trap from this, which would be super unfortunate. As it is, they have to commit into range of all my stuff. Unbearable to round it out. 6, 7, 850. So we can kill their snowball. Or their snowball, their murder wing. We will lose our murder wing in the process. That might be acceptable. We need a body block here. Game, please. We could get blown out by traps here. No trap. Basically, they had to choose between this and killing this. I mean, they could still kill this, but... actually, they can't, because they can't get the surface area. I don't know if we're gonna do this. Yes, we are. We're just making sure that we don't die to a combination attack here, hence the Clinico. Possibly should have muffined here first, but I guess this is fine, because they can kill this, then we kill this. I think we're okay. They do still have a line that isn't bad. Like, they roll this up, kill the cowbell, this comes in, kills this. Yep. They could roll to the middle, then we hit them for 900, 15, 900, 1400. Yeah, they're dead if they come after the AWOL, and they're dead if they walk away. Well, they get hit and walk away. They're not dead then, but... AWOL be built like a toe? I mean, yes. That is an accurate assessment. The Clinico beats! GG, we got him. We got him, chat. Assassin Clinico. Yeah, the smiley, I appreciate the idea of the early smiley. Like, it makes sense. Life isn't worth living without Sucky. I need Sucky in my life. Honestly, I've been thinking about Sucky offline, and I don't hate the idea. I don't hate the idea. I could see value on certain maps. I'm just not quite sure. I have to... Like, I want to get back to really mapping out strategies and things, and, like, theory crafting things, but I haven't quite... I don't know. I think it required... This is why, when talking about Fright Night for a second... Why I like the idea of the map bans and tailoring strategies where it's... If we do best of one and I dictate what map round one is, or all the rounds for that matter, and somebody has, I have this cool strategy that involves Sucky on Eternal Monday, but I banned Eternal Monday, or it just doesn't come up, like, you don't get to do it. Or if it's only when you go first on Eternal Monday, or only second, and you're the other player, you know, you're kind of SOL. So, yes... That happens no matter what. Any format is going to cause irregularities, but it would be cool to have the ability to do stuff like that. I don't know. I just think AWOL's a tentacle monster that used toe as its hiding disguise, because like the idle animation, sometimes it's like something peeking from the middle of the toe, its eyes peeking. Well, that I think is supposed to be its mouth. Or at least that's the way I interpret it. You're talking about when it like bends backwards, like, you know, like the toe bending. Sucky on Biff's room isn't bad. It confuses people. Well, it would absolutely confuse people. I can tell you that much. So I do want to take a look at that game. There was another conversation topic that I brought up in Discord. Nobody really reacted to it so far. But since we were on the topic of talking about tournaments and trying to figure out how to, you know, encourage people to play in Phobies tournaments and design tournaments that people enjoy, this was just an observation on the state of tournaments. So Magic the Gathering, you may have heard of it, right? It's kind of well known. Star City Games had the Star City Games Tour, or Open. I forget what the titles were, but bottom line is they would run stuff similar to the full Magic Pro Tour until that got shit canned and then came back and then got changed and whatever. Point is, they run these enormous, like, potentially thousands of people. You thought Fright Night was long? Imagine a Swiss tournament when you have thousands of people. Honestly, it scales very well, but it still is a very long tournament. So, they were running them pre-pandemic. Obviously, there haven't been a whole lot of face-to-face tournaments post-pandemic. So they started running them again this weekend. And apparently, they ran 2 independent, like different cities in the US, $20,000 prize pool tournament. It's not like, I don't think they were 20,000 to like the winner and then other stuff. It was like 20,000 broken up. So it would be, you know, say 10 grand for the winner, 8 grand for second place, etc., breaking down throughout whatever the placings were. That's not the important part, other than the big number. The actual number that is relevant is much smaller, and that is that apparently only 200 people showed up to each of them respectively. Not like 200 between them, but like 200 one of them and 200 at the other. Now, I'm sure the prize is scaled. It's like $20,000 if we hit the threshold of X number of people, something like that, and then they scaled it. I don't know if that's true. That's, again, not the important part. The important thing is, like, if Magic the Gathering can't do it, how the hell does anybody else do it? Now, part of it's pandemic's still going on. People have now adapted their habits. Maybe they don't want to travel because it's, even if you think the pandemic, which is, like, even if you believe that it wasn't still going on or it's not as big of a threat as it was before, you may still not want to expose yourself to air travel. Now, realistically, I don't really want to travel or do stuff because it's risky, but there are a lot of factors that could be playing into it, on top of WotC kneecapping organized play for a while, so that, you know, the general sentiment around it has somewhat changed, but it's just interesting. It's interesting. So, just throwing that out there as a discussion point. It does make me want to play Flesh and Blood. I mean, I never really want to play Magic again. I've said that on many occasions, but I do want to try Flesh and Blood. There it is. Xylo! Here we go again. What level are we? Oh, we're on regular phobia levels? Alright. Get a little streamer challenge action. If you want to come by the stream, either catch some live Phobies action, or maybe some politics talk, there is that, or challenge the streamer. RTChompGG over on Twitch. It's, of course, in the description, and you can find the links to all my other content and all the other fun stuff that hopefully you're already checking out, but you're having fun watching. We're gonna do this. I don't know if this is a good idea. So this will let us cap the middle. We send like a 1 key here. Specifically Bachelor. Depending on what they do. Send the cat to the middle and then Murderwing here. That also lets us get Crushmore online. I usually use Bachelor if enemies already taken their stim. That's what I'm thinking here. Side note, you ever think of doing challenges only robots or undead? That's been suggested before. I want to say it was player. I don't usually like that sort of stuff. I'd rather play regular games. I mean, if somebody insists on it for a challenge the streamer thing, I'll do it. The problem is it does introduce weirdness as far as collections. Like, I just may not have enough phobies of a given type to do the thing. It would have to probably be like phobie species where it's like only use dimensionals, only use undeads, only use whatever. I don't think it could be, well, I guess when you said robots, you probably meant mechanicals, but I guess that makes sense. Like, I'm not averse to the idea. I just typically don't enjoy those sort of things because the game is quite clearly, and most games are quite clearly designed around, oh, well, this is how you should be playing the game. Like this phobie that addresses that phobie doesn't necessarily fit into this breakdown. There isn't necessarily going to be an answer to the other 3 species of phobies in strictly dimensional. You know what I mean? So we get a Smother Mother here. It's a little scary. How big is a Smother Mother? This is a level 10 Smother Mother. It's doing 1,000 damage a clip. Oh, baby. So what's annoying is I can't break this block while the Murder Wing is there. We can't leave the Murder Wing there because it could die to the yoink. It actually wouldn't, right? 340? That's $8.99. $8.99. Shipping and handling is extra. Lul. I don't think I really want to do this, but we're just doing it for funsies. What's your guys' favorite phobia so far? There's a lot of different ones that people like. Oh my god, that just dies? Oh, I didn't count it up. I didn't look. Alright, that might be game on the spot. I didn't look, chat. Like, I legit didn't look. Whoops. I even, like, thought about it, because I was worried about the Murder Wing. Cow goes moo. So we just needed to move it here. I don't think we can kill this either. Actually, we might be able to. Alright, so we traded the Repeller for Smother Mother. I guess that's acceptable. I don't know if my, what's it called? Stairmaster could do it with one hit. 635. It was 600 and something, but I don't remember what it was. I was going to do Snowball and something, but this is fine. There goes 9 keys. Well, it was really 4 keys because we offered up the Repeller for no purpose. You could call it bait, but it wasn't. It was just an error. How much does this do? Well, a lot. So, ooh, it's a fire ant. It's funny that the muffin whistles when it walks. We know it has a mouth, but you don't see the mouth when it's walking. How much will this do? 4... 5, 25, 30. I think this is enough to kill it if it's in range. No game. So, I'm trying to set up here so that I can backfill, because the muffin can just come in. And then this also has this in position so I can break this block if I want to next turn. And I get the bank for something larger. Like, we're not in a dominating position here. I mean, you could say we are from a phobie count, but because of the way this map is structured and how the forces are spread, I don't know how relevant this is going to be. Henrietta Gaming. What's funny is spiders will do this. Well, I guess it's not funny. People probably knew this, but spiders will... A lot of animals will make themselves appear larger when threatened so that they look scarier. And, I mean, you can see tons of pictures where tarantulas rear up like that. I don't know how many spiders do that, but they absolutely do that. Also, it is horrifying when you see how fast a spider does. Cats do that too. I mean, lots of animals do, yeah. Lots of animals do. We can just keep banking from here. We're not in super danger. This hasn't laid a trap yet, I don't think. Have I ever played Overwatch? Yes. I did back in the day. I just straight up didn't like Overwatch. Like, I don't have a problem with it. I just didn't think it was a game that I really enjoyed. It's not something that I think you can really solo queue. Do I know Roadhog? Yes. Sarcassin is basically just Henrietta, different body, so it has the same animation. Does it pick up its legs like this? I see it so rarely that I just straight up don't remember. Interesting. I didn't know that, dogewhal. What if a phobie had his hook ability? You mean like Miss Moffat, Octonaughty, Smother Mother, and a Tractor? Because they all basically have that. Pull as in it always places in front of it. I mean, that's how the pulls are supposed to work. They seemingly don't necessarily, and that's the weird part. I was going to move the spider here, but I don't think we really want that. So there's now probably a trap in the middle. But yeah, the pole directly in front of you, I think, is how the poles are supposed to work. But sometimes there's weird behavior where it just doesn't seem to work that way. They have the same idle animation, the same scuttle, the same leg waving. Interesting. I'll have to look for that the next time I see a Sarcassin. Because it's an ultra... Oh my god, there's a Leshy. Level 8 Leshy. Group hug. Use Honey Bear for the fire. Honestly, that was going through my head, DT. That was going through my head. Part of it's playing up for the stream, part of it's like... Alright, well, I gotta do what I gotta do. We can wait on the Honey Bear at this point. I mean, this is going to die. I was planning on sacrificing this... Oh, wait, hold on. No. We're just going to do this. The life of having no... of not having a tractor, so I can't double yoink this. There's a big mediocre ultra rare. I think it's ultra rare because it would be a terror if it showed up at common. Basically, if you had a common like sarcastic common, it would probably destroy people before they get Muffin and Clinico. And I think there would be an enormous amount of complaints. You have Hevo 2.0 though? I mean, yes, I can't complain too much. I can't complain too much. I don't know about this one, because it's going to live. And a lot of 1-drops filling things out. Makes sense. But we will clear out the Muffin. Reclaim what is rightfully ours. So the question is, could they have put a trap here? I guess it's not impossible. I guess it's not impossible. I just don't know how likely that is. I'm not sure what we need here. Blue Fairy's debuff is horrifying. It is pretty scary. Mine's only level 1. I haven't put the experience into it. I'm not sure when I'm going to do it. If there's a trap here, I'm going to be upset. No trap. Dodged a bullet. Oh, the animation for the debuff? Yeah, it is pretty spooky. Or spoopy, as the kids say. Alright, so there's probably a trap here now because this thing only shimmied back a little bit. Oh my god, that's not enough fire damage. Lol. So where does this get pulled? So if this is a trap here, these are all going to get hit. This will live. This will... 2, 3, 4, 50... This will actually die. This will actually die. What about Barzilla? No, because I don't think it'll take enough damage from this. Alright, we're gonna get hit by a trap. Yep. So we don't back cap this point, which is problematic. The trap, I don't think, would have done enough damage. Run 3, 4... It was like 500 and change... Well, actually, I didn't double-check the damage after I meatballed. There might have been enough damage after the meatball, but I'm not sure. I mean, we can just walk into this, and then this flies away. It's fine. They have 0 keys left, so it's just a matter of don't lose any. You know what we should have done? I knew there was going to be a trap. I should have sent out Tickles. I should have sent out Tickles. It would have worked. Womp womp. This is not ranged. No. You can't believe you aren't using 2.0 here? I mean, I can. Boomer for its HP. I mean, that would work too. Also pull. True. I mean, at this point, truthfully, I don't know what Renamon does. Like, you can't move in, like, at all. I will kill everything as soon as you do it. Or nearly everything. Could have done this a long time ago, too, but... Actually, this could be bad, because there might be a trap on the center point. There could be a trap on the center point. One thing I could do, though, is just, So I kind of want to break this block and then yoink something. I don't know if that's actually a good idea, but we're considering it right now. The safer play is to do nothing. Yep, I knew there was a trap there. I knew there was a trap. The picnic set is on fire. What's hilarious is that the gator is still in range. Oh, I didn't attack with this last turn, did I? I think I forgot to. But at this stage, like, there's no way for them to come in. Like, yes, they can periodically lay traps at various places, but it's not going to matter. I think Crushmore dies if Renamon goes in. I don't think so. And then it just exposed, like, they're trading what few forces they have for mine, which is not beneficial to them. I don't think it kills, but it'll hurt. Even if they kill it, because of the yoink, it means that either this... I mean, they get... I guess if they could kill it, they could kill it with Fire Ant, and then it doesn't... It's not exposing something as badly. But odds are something is getting exposed and then killed. Because I can yoink it into range. And if that happens, now it's like, okay, you lose the Gator, and then it's these three against this plus whatever else I pull out. It's not going to end well. Alright, so there's probably a trap on the middle again.
Step right up. Your fire is waiting.
We'll just put an end to that, so I don't have to worry about it. The correct way to do it is this, so that I can heal up the crush more. Moffat won't be in range to pull the gator after it kills Jar, which it can't now. Yeah, I forgot about the Jar, but whatever. I'm not really worried about it if they rotate to the north like that. I think it gets exactly the Jar health. How much was it? 4, 5, 20, 32, actually. Is this really 1 damage short, or am I miscounting this? Yeah, I think this is 532. Wow. It lives with like 1 health. Yep. Precisely. What are the odds they trap their own stim? Oh, they trapped up here. Interesting, okay. That must have been an early trap. That must have been an early trap. I mean, regardless, you still have to commit to this thing. Because this fire doesn't cause a true death on a resurrect phobie. You still have to put something else in range, then step on it. It's funny when Ted, like, grabs at his chest and he's like, where's my heart? Buddy, I have bad news for you. There it is. He lost his heart in the divorce? I don't know. I think they still love each other very, very much. See, when a mommy zombie and a daddy zombie love each other very much... I don't know if we have enough damage for this. The Hevo Fire is actually not as good as the Fire Ant Fire. I just kind of want to go snaky. Molotov Cocktail Party isn't very potent. Not as potent. And he rips some ribs from his chest and stabs him with it. Well, he's upset. Wouldn't you be happy if someone tore a giant heart-sized hole in your chest? It feels like a plot to a weird fantasy novel, right? I think you win, just start hitting the heart. Yeah, that's the game plan. That's a game plan from here. Probably could have done it sooner, but I mean, part of it I was kind of just doing stuff. GG. Leshy stole Ted's attack animation? True. True. GG, well played. Yeah, Leshy is one that doesn't show up too often. Leshy is a pack, not a stress level, right? Yeah, Leshy's a pack. Not that many people have Leshy, I guess, or maybe people don't like it, I'm not sure. But GG, Forgo, GG. If you want to come challenge the stream or come by the live stream, RT Chomp GG over on Twitch. Of course, likes and subscribes on YouTube help, and, you know, hit up the Discord in the description. You get it. They burned our crops, poisoned our water, set a plague on our houses. It's a wild party. It's kind of like a Rakdos party. Somebody poisoned the watering hole. You know, I've talked about it before. I'm a toy collector. I'm surrounded by way more plastic than I should be. And I really hate Toy Story. Like, I don't like the movie. I didn't like the original. The sequels are just, I don't know. They don't annoy me as much as the original, but they also aren't very good. The only one that I think I like, that I've seen, because the toys themselves are actually cool, is there's like a Christmas special one where they're again doing the whole the toys don't recognize that they're toys thing with like these dinosaur warriors, and it's pretty cool because there are actually some toys that I want to get that are basically those dinosaur warriors or similar, but I'm still waiting for them to actually show up in an online store because they've been on pre-order for like a year. It's like, are these things ever actually happening? Only thing I wanted for my Toy Story was a Zurg toy. I mean, those exist. You can get those. Especially now that like, I didn't watch the Buzz Lightyear movie. I assume Zurg played a prominent role in that, but I don't know. There's a snake in my boot. Jumping into the arena. Jumping into the arena. I prefer the stabby opener. I don't know. Maybe you know what? We are going to try the game. Couldn't get it to, like, let me see all my damn Phobies. We're going to try this opener and see. I don't know how I feel about it yet, but it's interesting, so we're going to give it a whirl. We'll give it a whirl. Yeah, that was the problem, Doge. I couldn't get it to show. I clicked on favorites, and then I didn't realize, like, it wasn't letting me switch back to just the regular keys. It kept, like, showing favorites. Maybe I was, like, clicking off it and on it again. I don't know. But this is the key to learning from those higher level games, is trying to adapt either to their strategies, as in find a way to deal with them, or adapt by, you know, incorporating them in. So this does seed the middle panic point, unfortunately. There's really not much I can do about that. We'll be able to kill the cat on the follow-up if they go in, so I guess that's fine. Why is corn not on favorite? I don't know. I've recently come to appreciate unicorn more, but I still don't really like it. So we will get their cat out of this exchange. And if they stay here, we're also going to get their unicorn. Or their cassowary, rather. Not their unicorn, what am I saying? Maybe we should have put something more threatening to discourage an advance from the stabby, because this way we can, well, I guess we can just leave everything here, so we'll we'll trap this up. Gotta worry about the sheep now.
Trip trap and punkophobia. This battle's turning something unholy.
I think I want the mobility more. Oculus deals 500 by level 10. Yeah, it does a lot. It does a lot. Oh, you're right. Wow, this is a low level cassowary. Oh my god, I didn't realize all their stuff was this low level. I wish, I don't know, like, the level should be on this bottom thing here. I mean, you can kind of tell if you play enough, but I also think that they need to, there has to be HP bars all the time. That wouldn't give away the level, but it would be salient information here. Yeah, I know. A little unfortunate. But I've thrown games from this sort of position before, so we'll see. Mamau Poopy? What? Taco, what is it with you and poop? Every stream. Even when we were doing Cult of the Lamb, you were all about the poop. I mean, that was probably for other reasons, but... No game. Hey, just kill sheep and muffin stabby? Exactly. And we'll leave in bank, because there's no need to... I mean, I guess we could pop out a 1 key. So that way we can try and reclaim some of this stuff. But yeah, this person's obviously significantly lower level, which feels bad. Uh-oh, Misanthrope, better bring thunder. So we can't quite kill this unless I commit something else to it. Which I don't really want to do that. We'll keep banking from here. I don't think I had enough damage to kill Stabby. Oh no, I have bad news for you, friend. You might lose corn, but I think that's okay here. Yeah, I think they realized. They're like, wait a minute, they didn't attack last turn. They didn't attack twice last turn, and they didn't move. Something's fishy here. They could probably still kill Unicorn if they sent in Cassowary, Stabby, and... Well, no, would Stabby... Did Stabby move one more? I don't remember where Stabby started the turn. Yes, chat, Electrocat's gonna die. I'll find a way to live with myself. How will I kill Electrocat now? I don't have to worry about that. They did it for me. I know what you're trying to say, but... 3 keys that did nothing? That's not true. It capped a point. It did cap a point. Participation award. You got a blue ribbon.
I needed that.
If they can't kill this stabby, well, they shouldn't be able to. They can beat it up, but they can't kill it. But if you double hit with this, you're going to be in bad shape. Okay, so they pulled that back too. Casseware's too far to leap, exactly. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Noxious is probably going to do some mean stuff to us. Noxious is going to do some mean stuff. So if Noxious hits here, which it presumably will, they kill this with this. Really? I probably should have left Stabby, but I would... I guess it's fine. I don't know. Oh, they might kill the Stabby, or the Jin Sting. I didn't think they had enough damage. I didn't count it up. I legit thought they didn't have enough damage, so I didn't even look at it. Chat, we might be throwing. I'm not worried about the corn. Care about that. Noxious AoE on the 3. Oh no, not like this! Bad guy, not like this! Yeah, out of time is right. Rip. The play they made, honestly, was not bad. It wasn't ideal, it wasn't optimal, but it wasn't terrible. I think that I end up punishing them fairly hard for it, but... And at this point, they might have... Maybe they disconnected at the end. I mean, they probably... If I were in their shoes, I'd be tilting off the face of the earth, so I can't blame them for this. Where it's like, you tried to undo and redo a bunch of things, and then ultimately... You get none of the things you even remotely wanted. Alright, we got another challenge going. They put their phone in the toaster. Yo, that guy is mad. They may not be that mad. They may not be that mad. But I mean, I can absolutely see myself like. What I usually do is I would have made that guy is mad. A bunch of little ones that clearly would die easily. Send them all in, and like send in the team. You know what I mean? Like, I don't just get up and walk away, although I know some people will do that, and, like, it's fine, I get it.
That was quite cathartic.
Game. GG, bad guy. GG. Need to redeem my honor. Alright. Oh no, it's on like and subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, by the way, maybe you should give me some likes and subscribes, some follows on Twitch, and all that fun stuff. They do really help, and so do comments, because it helps the YouTube algorithm however it helps it, so that more people can see me rambling on and on and on and on and on and on. So what are we? Are we level 1s? We are level 1s. Electric Cat has 600 HP, over 600 HP at level 1. Didn't realize that. I was blissfully unaware. I don't really know yet whether I spend my last 2 keys on turn 1 here or not. Like, I'm legitimately unsure. Like, going to 6 lets me get Crushmore online. So maybe that's fine. But does a 1 key here to recap the mid matter? I'm gonna bank the keys. I don't know. I'm not sure. Even when this map was in the rotation the first time around, I didn't play it enough to really know what I wanted to do or when. I like the unicorn here. I've tried that going first as well, and I think it works out pretty decently. $500, huh? So this will tank it once. Still down panic points, and obviously the Electric Cat can go make a trek across the top, but if it does, we annihilate it. Yep, kind of as expected. Our opponent is banked to 7. Opponent is banked to 7. Poison Ivy. Very trap-heavy focus here. Still got one turn on this. So I wanted to attack it specifically so that I could still send something up here. This also lets us bank to 6 for what that's worth. Our opponent is on 8 keys, so there's a lot of hypothetical... Oh god, actually, yeah, this is active this turn. This was a mistake. Alright, so there's definitely a trap in this semicircle somewhere. I'm not sure where yet. But we know there is one. Interesting. I'm not sure what they're trying to set up there. Yeah, so they realized it. This is the way better play. I don't think they can do anything even with the 8 keys, because all you can do is pop out a jar or a snowball. Snowball can't hit. So this moved twice, or maybe it didn't. Yes, it did. So that means no trap. I don't think we can kill this without staying here, and if we stay here, we lose the, You didn't do the attack I want you to do. Do the bees.
That's what I call crowd control.
So, like, we could kill this, but then it gets hit by this, and then follow up. So I don't think we want to do that. They can't put anything on the stem yet. So we do want to keep things in range of the middle point. This can move up and this can move up, but then, like, you're not in range to hit me with anything, so I guess that's fine. This still has its break and or block. Yeah, nothing should be able to reach me here. And they're not in range to break the block up here in order to get at the jar, so I guess this is okay for now. Less than ideal, but... So this does 600, which is exactly enough to kill the cat. Since they didn't do the second move, it's possible there's a trap here, so we're going to have to test for it. You can break the wall, yep. I mean, they were going to do it for us, which would have been nice, because then honestly I would have hit twice and then put the block back. And then I get a free kill for nothing. There's a Chuck. I had a feeling he was going to make an appearance. How much does he do at level 1? 450? Alright, so that'll one-shot the jar. That's bad news. Let's see if there's a trap. You know, honestly, we could have kept the jar here, because then if they move this up... Well, we may not be able to clear it out. Yeah, we should be able to. You come down, break. I guess we'll just leave it back for now. Jockey for position a little bit. Got a trap. Got a trap with the Tickles. That's hilarious. Look at how adorable Tickles is. Look at how dead Tickles is. Never seen that animation. I've only seen it once before, like when we first... I think I only saw it once before. Maybe I have other times, but the time I remember is when whoever the people were that basically unlocked a ton of the new Phobies, and they did like a test game, essentially, when Full Disclosure first came out. And they specifically engineered the scenario so the Tickles could eat a trap. $280, huh? I'm being kind of aggressive here. I don't know if this is really a good idea, truthfully. Probably not. It's probably not. But I figure if they try and... Well, if they kill this with... Maybe we just do this. I'm trying to bait the Chuck to come in, but now that I've telegraphed it, I don't know that they're going to do it. Do I have better TTV Twitch extension? I do not. I don't know what even know. I've heard of it, but I don't know what that does, Forgo. Is it something that I should get? Isn't it emote related? I could be wrong. Makes Twitch better and has emotes. What does it do to improve Twitch? I'm not saying it doesn't. I just honestly have no idea. So I just got back from watching The Blob, and something struck me as weird in that movie. They're watching... In the movie, cost 80 cents. Could you imagine paying 80 cents for a movie? It is kind of bonkers when you think about it. So we're trading Jar and Foul for their Chuck. Probably not worth it. Like, and it's going to be Chuck over time. We're not getting it right away. Okay, we're not getting it because we need to clear this now. I mean, we can still do it. They're just making my life exceptionally complicated. You actually have to do this. Less than ideal on a variety of fronts. They still have 6 keys left, so, like, obviously the fowl dies. Cat, apparently there was a trap down here, so that's not good. This could be a really bad turn. Because I was screwing around. Also, the payphone they use costs a dime. I mean, that's believable, but going to a movie for 80 cents sounds wild. I mean, that being said, when I was a kid, there were plenty of dollar movie theaters. Like, you would get to see the movie late, comparatively, but you would absolutely, like, it was literally $1 a ticket, so I guess 80 cents isn't that extreme. What year was The Blob supposed to take place? Alright, so Ginsting is dead. Basically, we traded a whole lot for not much. This was absolutely not worth it. I mean, admittedly, I was just kind of fooling around with these plays, but now I'm I'm upset that I'm throwing. 1958 is when the movie released, and I think it was during its own time frame. I'm going to say it also takes place during the 50s. I mean, that makes sense. I didn't know if it was, like, a futuristic sci-fi or not, or, you know. One, two, three. I mean, we're not out of it yet, but we're not in good shape. What do we do here? Part of me wants to go Klepto. Part of me wants to go Innocuous 2-drop. Alright, let's see. I'll get my victory this time. I think it's coming, dogewhal. I think the blob still kind of sort of holds up and has 2 huge problems. What are those, Atona? Is it that the world reacts to a giant global threatening problem? Because that seems pretty unrealistic. Sadly. I think the real question is, do I get blown out by traps this game, dogewhal? Interesting, okay. Or not. Not so interesting. It's funny how Chuck, like, smashes his hand into the ground. It's kind of funny. I don't remember Poison Ivy being in the north of the map, so I don't think there's a trap up there. It's entirely possible there is, and then I'm going to be super upset. Oh my god, it lives. I mean, it doesn't, but still. Did that save it? No. We go here. Can Chuck hit it? 1, 2, 3. No. Jar can hit it, but it won't. The big question is, where are the remaining traps? Where are those remaining traps? The latter could be true. I mean, part of it's just movie magic, and it's like, oh, the military's going to come save the day. But I could see in the time period the assumption that, oh, well, the government is tracking this stuff. I didn't pay attention to the jar there. That the government is tracking this sort of thing. So, like, oh, well, they already knew that the blob was coming, sort of thing. Or they saw it touch down. Or, you know, they have more information than they let on. That sort of thing. Feels like a cop-out. I mean, there is no other answer in that movie, so yes, it's a cop-out, because, like, they had no other way to address the scenario. It would have been literally impossible. So the Ginsting can come down and get the heart, which is bad, obviously. Or get the panic point, rather. But yeah, the blob, I thought, because there were, like, no joke, 3 or 4 blob movies. I thought, is that, in the first one, do they have it where it sucks the guy out of his seat in the movie theater? I don't remember.
Exquisite.
So, sending the pterodactyl up there might be a bad idea, but I feel threatened enough on the heart that I feel like I got to address the situation. Wow, the stabby wasn't enough damage on its own. That's kind of interesting. I mean, it ultimately doesn't matter, but still. How much health does the spider have? 1,300? Oh, this has way more health than I thought it was going to. So the spider could die. This walks up here 612. Like, the spider possibly dies. But if we go here and yoink it, I don't think we kill the Jin Sting. We could alternatively have gone after the Poison Ivy, but I'm a little concerned about the damage there as well. That, like, we wouldn't have been able to kill it. $550. Yep. Going after the heart. Okay. Or not. I mean, I might not have enough damage to kill these phobies quickly enough, truthfully. Yeah, we should be okay. I think. The Blob had a sequel? I think there was more than one sequel. I know there was at least one, but I thought there was more than one. I could be wrong. Down goes the spider. Voodoo dolls eat spiders, I guess. Fair play. I don't know what's happening. Interesting, alright. I think the poison does him in. Got him. GG, dogewhal. GG. I barely squeaked that one out because I was screwing around in the middle, and, like, there were a couple turns there where I was like, oh god, I think this is the first loss. This is happening. But GG, well played. Well played. I like doing the viewer games. I really do. I think it's fun. I gotta do these other challenges. Over my first game of Poison Ivy, and Poison Ivy is really good. If I hit a trap at any point during that game, like other than the ones I hit, obviously, if I hit one more trap, I probably lose. There's a remake of the Blob? I didn't know that. Honestly, the Blob is, like, the way it... I mean, it just dissolves people, so it's horrifying. If you did that with, like, modern graphics, like, if they redid it in the vein of It, which I still haven't seen, I should really watch that, like, the new It. or just any modern horror movie, it would be so gross and so horrifying. Oh, there was a remake in the 80s. Okay, then maybe that's why I was thinking there were multiple sequels. I trapped the bottom point when I spawned in Avi. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I didn't expect the one down there, but that was also, you know, like 80 turns before, so even if I was thinking about it at the moment, I probably wouldn't have remembered. It's something, like, traps and stuff like that are something that I literally, if I was playing for real, like, if there was a first-party Phobies tournament that had, like, actual money on the line or something, I would be taking notes and be like, okay, there's probably a trap there, there's probably a trap there, there's probably a trap there, that sort of thing, because it's too much to remember at any given point in time. It's just way too much. Alright, chat. I think I'm going to call it. I think I'm going to call it. Went a little over, because it is a holiday tomorrow in the U.S. The sequel to The Blob is called Beware the Blob. Our original. Given that they're resurrecting every other property under the sun, I'm surprised that one hasn't come back. I'm surprised that one hasn't showed up. But, yeah, like I said, I think we're going to call it an evening. Tomorrow we'll be back. There'll be variety. That's the game plan. I'm not sure what we're going to be playing. Probably Rumbleverse. Probably, or possibly Hunt. We'll see. We'll see. But like I said, that's going to do it for now. So as always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And Black Lives Matter.